All right, let's talk about something that I think every single person who's ever touched a database knows all too well, that headache of trying to control who can do what. Today, we're going to dive into how you can go from total permission chaos to clean, scalable control. So picture this, right? Your team's growing, your database is getting bigger and more complex, and all of a sudden you find yourself just drowning in requests. Hey, can Sarah see the sales data? Or, whoa, make sure the new intern can only read customer info. Definitely not change it. When you're managing permissions one person at a time, it just doesn't work for long. It becomes a tangled, unmanageable mess fast. And that mess, we can call it permission chaos. And the problems are real. It is incredibly time-consuming. A single change might mean you're updating dozens of individual accounts by hand. It's also so prone to human error. I mean, it is way too easy to accidentally grant delete access when you only meant select. And audits? Forget about it. Trying to figure out who has access to sensitive data is a nightmare. This whole approach just completely breaks down as your team grows. But what if I told you there's a really elegant, industry-standard solution to this entire problem? A way to manage all this that's secure, that scales, and, best of all, saves you a massive amount of time. And that solution is all about architecting your permissions around group roles. Now, this isn't some weird niche trick. This is the professional, sane way to handle database access control. So what is a role, really? Well, think of it like a key card for a hotel, right? Instead of giving every single housekeeper a unique, individual key to every room they need to clean, you just give them one housekeeping master key card. That key card, that's the role. It has a predefined set of permissions, access to certain floors, certain rooms. The housekeeper is just the user. Simple. And the best part is how beautifully simple the whole logic is. Honestly, it all just boils down to 3 basic steps. Okay, so step 1, you create the role itself. This is like designing the template for that housekeeping key card, or in our case, maybe a role called analyst. Step 2, you grant permissions to the role. You're basically telling the database, hey, anything or anyone with this analyst role is allowed to select data from the orders and customers tables. And finally, step 3, you just assign your users to that role. So when you hire a new analyst, you don't have to go through and manually list out all their individual permissions. Nope. You just add them to the analyst group and boom, they instantly get the exact right access. It is so clean. So now that we see how it works, let's talk about the payoff. How does this simple little shift in thinking solve all those massive problems we talked about at the beginning? Well, the benefits bring immediate clarity to your whole system. And I mean, the contrast is just night and day. Before, if the sales team needed access to a new reporting table, you'd have to go update every single person on that team's account manually. With roles, you update the sales_team role one time, and everybody gets the new access instantly. Onboarding a new team member goes from this complicated, error-prone checklist to a single command, add user to role. And offboarding, just as easy. And this is crucial, way more secure. Just remove them from the role and their access is immediately and completely revoked. Ultimately, it all comes down to these 3 pillars. Your maintenance becomes almost trivial. Your security is way better because you're granting the least privilege necessary for a job, not for a person. And your system can now scale effortlessly. Adding 10 new analysts is suddenly just as easy as adding 1. This isn't just some little database admin trick. This is really about architectural thinking. It's the difference between building a house of cards versus building a skyscraper. Whether you're a solo developer or on a huge enterprise team, getting this concept right means you're not just closing tickets, you're actually building a system that is resilient, secure, and totally ready for the future. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the whole philosophy. When you're assigning permissions one by one, you are always in reactive mode. You're constantly putting out fires. But when you use roles, you shift. You become a proactive architect. You design a system that actually anticipates change, new people joining, responsibilities evolving, data growing. You're building a system that's resilient by design, not just by luck. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Take a look at whatever project you're working on right now. Where's the permission chaos? Which job functions do you see over and over? Seriously, how could creating just 2 or 3 simple roles right now save you hours of work and prevent a major security headache down the road? The shift from chaos to control is probably a lot closer than you think.